Hi everyone! For All Mankind Season 2 might have been released back in 2021. However, it's still one of the best, if not the best, season that they've made so far. In this series, I'm doing a rewatch of all four seasons of For All Mankind, and we're now at Season 2, where we explore the ups and downs of living on the moon. My name is Sasha, and this is my recap and review. Once again, I'm going to start with a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the season 2, I would suggest you to pause this video and go watch season 2 of For All Mankind. The season 2 starts with a news clipping update showing what happened in time jump between season 1 and season 2. In that, we get to know that Ronald Reagan actually became president much sooner. We get to know that John Lennon survives his assassination attempt, but that unfortunately the Pope John Paul II does not. We get to know that Miracle on Ice unfortunately does not happen as Team USA loses in final versus the Soviets. Also, we get to know that the technology developed by NASA with the space race is actually of use on Earth. Now, in terms of character update to our favorite character, Gordo and Tracy Stevens unfortunately get a divorce. Danielle Poole loses her husband. Karen Baldwin actually managed the Outpost bar, which she actually bought with Ed Baldwin. Ed actually becomes the chief of the astronaut's office. Margot became director of the Space Center. Ellen actually starts the season being commander of the Jamestown's base. And when she comes back on Earth, she becomes one of the administrator at NASA. As for Molly, well, she's doing her thing on Moon at Jamestown. What actually happens in season 2? Well, I'm going to talk about three story points. The first one starts with the first episode. There's a major solar storm on the moon. And as much as Molly was able to find shelter in a cave, she finds out that one of her fellow astronauts was in danger outside. So she takes off her Geiger counter, goes outside, and grabs him to bring him back into safety in the cave. Doing so, she gets exposed to unprecedented level of radiation. In the next few episodes, we find out that that much radiation would necessarily lead to major health issues for her. A second storyline is that the US president initiates a joint mission between the US and the Soviet to do a handshake in space. We will see over the next few episodes everything that is required, the cooperation between the US and Soviets in order to get to achieve that. Also, like I mentioned, Ed Baldwin was the chief of astronaut office. So Danielle Poole actually goes into Ed's office and actually demands that she gets appointed as a command mission. Ed will actually give her command of that mission. A final story point is actually on the moon. The Soviet will take control of a US mining site, escalating tension between the US and the Soviets, and will prompt militarization effort from the US. It will all escalate up until the final episode with the final showdown between the two of them. I won't go further. You will have to watch the second season to find the details. What I like about the second season of For All Mankind is the alternate history storytelling. The opening montage is just well made and very original. We also get to have Cold War tension present throughout the season. It brings out great storyline and gives political intrigue throughout the season. We also get to have great character development. For example, we get Karen, who was the housewife in season 1, where in season 2, she becomes a manager. She managed the outpost, and she does that just perfectly. Um, we get Gordo, who has the redemption arc. At the beginning of the season, he's devastated and gets into shape to go back onto the moon with Tracy. Talking about Tracy, her celebrity status is just interesting and just fun to watch. And when she gets onto the moon, well, she finds out that life over there, well, over there, she's just one of anyone else. And it's not all that glamorous. Talking about Jamestown and the moon, the visual are still just really great. The upgraded Jamestown station feels like, well, it feels like what would be an upgrade from season 1 to season 2. What I don't like about the second season is that some of the storyline feels rushed or at least underexplored. It feels like the writers opened too many doors and by the end of the season had to rapidly close them all. Also, what about the Karen and Danny Stevens story? Why did they have to include a whole Stacy's mom storyline? I mean, it's not really the fact that an older woman have to hook up with a younger man. It's really why did Karen had to hook up with Danny? It could have been any other man. When it comes to acting, the three-star of the season would be as follow. In third position would be Ren Smith as Margot Madison. In second position, it would be Chris Marshall as Daniel Poole. And in first position, it would be Michael Dornman as Gordo Steven. The alternate timeline, the personal and the political drama of season 2 of For All Mankind makes it a riveting watch. Even if some of the storyline could have used some more development, they're still great. Really, the season 2 builds on the excellent season 1 and leaves us fan looking and wanting for more. If you enjoyed, give it a like and subscribe. Till next time, ciao.